If your promotion name is Ultimate Beatdown, I sure hope you live up to that name. And, well, this one in Malaysia definitely does that. And does anyone recognize the name Ray Cooper III, multiple-time PFL champion? Well, he's got two brothers, both of which made their pro MMA debut this weekend, and both of them started their careers off strong. We've also got enough slow-motion knockouts and flying knees to keep you entertained all week. And these videos are all thanks to Caposa, who, if you don't already, go give him a follow on his Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman for more highlights like these daily. What is going on, everyone? It's the Casual, Lawton Veerkant, and this is Caposa's Corner. Kicking us off this week, we're going to take a look at Ultimate Beatdown 39 in Malaysia for one fight. Here, we have a featherweight matchup that sees ChaKarting with an even 1-1 record, and his opponent, Hakeem, seems to be making his pro debut and was introduced with just that name, no last name apparently. So this fight actually makes it to the second round, and it seems both fighters are taking it very slow as they just seem to kind of stand off with each other. But just under 2 minutes in, Ting has had enough of this whole being patient thing. Yeah, one clean head kick that sends Hakeem down, and thankfully the ref intervenes immediately and this fight is over. We sadly only have this one angle, but Ting tried this kick 2 other times earlier in the round, and the third time truly was the charm in this fight as it connects beautifully and knocks his opponent clean out. What a win, and an even better highlight as Ting gains this win and improves his record to 2-1. Next up, we're gonna go visit Niza FC 37 in Kazakhstan for one fight, and oh yeah, we're wasting no time this week because it is time for Caposa's KO of the week. Here we have a bantamweight bout between Gomlet Aslanov, sitting undefeated at 2-0, and he only has 2 amateur fights, both of which were at the IMAF Championships back in 2019, where he sadly lost the second one. And he's taken on Ulagbek Abdulhayev, who also has a 2-0 record. So we're just over halfway through the first round, and did anyone order a flying knee to the chin?
Takım kısıp otur жанында. Өте жақсы ұмтылыс және тамаша соққы ардақты жанкүйерлер.
One perfectly placed flying knee and one folded body on the canvas is all this fight takes for Aslanov to secure this win. I mean, there's really just not much else to say about this one. He dodges this left and sneaks the knee right up the middle to an unprotected chin and is already cheering before he lands back to the ground. What a win though, as he keeps his record clean at 3-0 and will probably be watching this clip all week. Now we're going to take a look at Golden Ticket Fight Promotions 18 in England for one fight. This is a main event lightweight title fight for the vacant belt that has Perry Goodwin sitting at an 11-7 record, but he fought in Cage Warriors from 2017 to 2020, and his opponent, Thomas Paul, has a 10-3 record. So this fight had minimal footage, so just take a look and then we'll talk.
Considerably smaller than he expected him to be, and there's certainly a... Oh! Thomas Paul sleeps him! And sleeps him!
2 left hooks, the second one being the kill shot, and 1 hammer fist on the ground for good measure, and this fight is over. And for context, this all happened just 1 minute into the fight, and Paul needed to do nothing else to secure this win. This win improves his record to 11-3, and he is your new Golden Ticket Fight Promotions lightweight champion. Moving on, we're headed to Titan FC 74 in Florida, where we have one fight, and it is a welterweight fight between Ratavius Thrasher, who's making his pro debut. And remember in the intro when I mentioned Ray Cooper having 2 brothers? Well, here's the first one, Makoa Cooper, who is also making his pro debut, but has a 2-0 amateur record. This is another one I have to let you all watch first, and then we'll talk because it happens in literally 9 seconds of the fight.
And make Thrasher throw that big overhand right. Oh, beautiful job.
Wow, what a knockout.
Wow.
I apologize about those conveniently placed graphics being in the way, but I don't think anyone on the broadcast team anticipated a knockout happening that quick. But thankfully, the replays don't have them. And as you can see, this overhand right was only Cooper's second strike in the fight, and it got the job done and quick. I definitely think if you're trying to make a statement in a debut, he capitalized on this one perfectly and secures his first pro win. Up next, we're gonna go visit CES MMA 66 in Rhode Island for one fight. Here, we have a catch catchweight bout at 140 pounds that sees Joey Gomez with a 6-2 record, and you may recognize that name as he fought twice in the UFC back in 2016, both of which he lost though, and this is his first fight back since then, and he's up against Vladimir Kazmikov, who has a 6-4 record. There must have been something in the air this past weekend because we have another fight that doesn't even pass the 20-second mark, and we get this.
That reach advantage is pretty insane, and he's already
Wow. Kazmikov closes the gap with a big left hand, and Gomez goes down and out.
An onslaught of left hooks and an occasional overhand right that just knocked Gomez out while on his feet, only for the ref to step in as quick as he can before he falls flat to the canvas. Gomez actually disputed the stoppage with the ref after the fact, but looking back at it, you can just tell he was out on his feet and that stopping the fight is definitely what needed to happen. Kazmikov does secure this win though, improving his record to 7-4 and adding a nice name to his resume. Next, we're gonna go check out Peak Fighting Championship 18 in Arkansas, where we have another honorable mention due to minimal footage, but just look at this.
Doing oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that was actually a really bad knockout.
So, this is a bantamweight amateur fight that has Luis Alvera, who is the gentleman doing the knocking out, and he has a now 1-1 record, and the poor guy that just ate that huge left, well, that's Taylor Andrews, who now has an 0-2 record. Alvera just steps back and fully sends this devastating left hook right to his chin, and then we get the slow motion faceplant. Although it's early in his career, if he can use some of this momentum and land some more impressive knockouts like this in his future, this may not be the last time we see him. Now we're going to take a look at Budo Cento Championship 6 in Mexico for one fight, and it is a main event bantamweight title fight for the vacant belt, and we have Eric Ruano with a nice 14-2 record, and his opponent, Victor Madrigal, has a 9-3 record. We've been really good about first round finishes this week, and this one does just that, except when the count for the final 10 seconds happens, Victor decides he just wants to end the fight now.
Watching in this moment.
Wow.
Well, there you go. Oh my God, look at that knee.
By Madrigal.
He's down.
A flying knee straight through the guard, followed by a slam against the cage, and then the swarm after the fact forces the ref to step in, and this fight is over. The ground and pound didn't really seem to connect, but I don't think it even mattered with how clean this knee lands, and how visibly rocked he was after that. Victor does secure this win though, improving his record to 10-3, and everyone welcome your new Budo Cento Championship Bantamweight Champion. Still going, we're going to look at Rage in the Cage 86 in Oklahoma for one fight, and sadly again, it's an honorable mention due to minimal footage, but we just couldn't leave this one out.
Ooh, sweet, stumbled him. Oh my goodness.
He knocks him out. Pull.
So, that's Tyson Southern throwing that overhand right, which, if that wasn't enough, how about this right knee directly to the chin that just sends his opponent down and out? This win improves his record to 3-2, and the opponent that sadly had his soul taken with this one, well, that's Tevin Lasky, who now has a 1-2 record. Again, we wish we had more footage or angles to show you, but this overhand right to wobble him, and then the follow-up knee was just too deadly not to show you all. For our final promotion today, we're going to pay a visit to our friends at Cage Warriors 133 in California, where we have two fights to show you. For the first, we have a welterweight matchup between Soslin Margiev, who is making his pro debut, and his opponent is Blake Cooper, also making his pro debut, and yep, this is the other brother to Ray Cooper that fought this past weekend. We've got another first round finish, and this one actually goes to the ground just 1 minute in by this beautiful takedown from Cooper, and once he takes the back, well, this happens next.
Top hand.
Talk about another impressive debut. In under 2 minutes of his first professional MMA fight, Blake lands this takedown and then absolutely chokes Margiev, giving him no other option than to tap. With how successful Ray's MMA career has been, and with both of his brothers making impressive first-round wins in their debuts, I'm gonna go ahead and say they probably have a solid career ahead of them. For our final fight this week, we're still at Cage Warriors 133, and here we have a featherweight matchup that sees Ryan Fillingame with a 6-4 record, and his opponent, Damon Wilson, has a clean 3-0 record. Another first-round finish, and as this one only has 30 seconds left, someone's gonna have to make a move.
Good work being done by Wilson. Though. Oh! It's a huge right hand. It sinks Fillingame to the canvas.
Dear Dear Lord, it didn't even look like Wilson caught him with that, but in slow-mo you can see the right just catch him perfectly and it just folds him to the canvas, and the ground hooks eventually force the ref to step in. Wilson follows suit with the rest of the highlights this week and secures his first round win, improving his record to 4-0, and now has this great highlight to look back on. Another week down, and it is all thanks to Caposa, so if you're not already, go give him a follow on his Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman to show him some support, and you can also support him by checking out his Patreon at patreon.com/Caposa. And we always want to say a huge thank you to all of these organizations for hosting these events for our viewing pleasure, and to the fighters, winners, and losers, and we will see you all in the next video.